In the 2014-2015 financial year budget presented today before Parliament by the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich, a raft of measures have been proposed to finance the 1.78 trillion shillings budget. However, financing the huge budget is not all rosy affair, and some sectors will compact with a significant blow. With taxpayers expected to raise close to 83.6% of the budget, Rotich has basically ordered the taxman to widen its tax base and seal all tax leakages. This is aimed at bringing in more people within the tax bracket. Thus, the informal sector employing millions of Kenyans might be the next stop for the taxman.
The KRA is expected to institute measures to expand the revenue base and eliminate tax leakages. Further, the government will continue to modernize the tax laws in line with international best practice so as to simplify tax collection and enhance the revenue yield.
KRA is expected to collect close to 1.2 trillion shillings, even as Kenya prepares to float the Eurobond that will raise at least 135 billion shillings. Rotich plans to raise 190.8 billion shillings through domestic borrowing as part of bridging the 242 billion shillings budget deficit besides loans and grants. In this case, the government is still competing for credit from local financial institutions with the private sector. This means if you plan to borrow from a bank, then you are unlikely to get cheap credit.
After taking into account net external financing of 149.6 billion, which is 3.2% of GDP, and loan repayment receipt of 2 billion, this will leave a deficit of 190.8 billion, equivalent to 4.1% of GDP. And this would be financed by net borrowing from the domestic market.
County governments have also been crying for an increment in shareable revenue by at least 45% of the budget. However, Rotich has allocated 226 billion shillings, which is nearly 70 billion shillings short of their expectations. But Rotich justified his action.
A total of 226.7 billion has been allocated to the county governments in the financial year 2014-2015 as shareable revenue. This translates to 43% of the most recent audited revenue approved by Parliament and is well above the 15% minimum mandated by the Constitution.
For the steel and iron sheet importers, the tide has changed from zero-rated. Currently, they will have to pay the taxman 25% in duty.
Increased duty rates on a wide range of iron and steel products, which are available locally, from 0 and 10% to 25% in order to cushion our local industries from cheap imports.
Caroline Njenga reporting for Channel 1 2014-2015 budget.